Namaskar, Jai Shri Krishna. Illuminating text 19 of chapter 12, Birth of Emperor Parikshit of first canto creation of Srimad Bhagavatam. Text 19. Brahmana Uchuha Partha Prajavita Sakshadikshva Kuriva Manavaha Brahmanyah Satya Sandha Ramo Dasharathir Yatha. The learned Brahmana said, O son of Prutha, this child shall be exactly like King Ikshvaku, son of Manu, in maintaining all those who are born. And as for following the Brahmanical principles, especially in being true to his promise, he shall be exactly like Ram, the personality of Godhead, the son of Maharaj Dashrath. Praja means the living being who has taken his birth in the material world. Actually, the living being has no birth and no death. But because of his separation from the service of the Lord and due to his desire to lord it over material nature, he is offered a suitable body to satisfy his material desires. In doing so, one becomes conditioned by the laws of material nature and the material body is changed in terms of his own work. The living entity thus transmigrates from one body to another in 84 lakh species of life. But due to his being the part and parcel of the Lord, he not only is maintained with all necessaries of life by the Lord, but also is protected by the Lord and his representatives, the saintly kings. These saintly kings give protection to all the prajas or living beings to live and to fulfill their terms of imprisonment. Maharaj Parikshit was actually an ideal saintly king because while touring his kingdom, he happened to see that a poor cow was about to be killed by the personified Kali, whom he at once took to task as a murderer. This means that even the animals were given protection by the saintly administrators, not from any sentimental point of view, but because those who have taken their birth in the material world have the right to live. All the saintly kings, beginning from the king of the sun globe down to the king of the earth, are so inclined by the influence of the Vedic literatures. The Vedic literatures are taught in higher planets also, as there is reference in the Bhagavad Gita 4.1 about the teachings to the sun god Vivaswan by the Lord, and such lessons are transferred by disciplic succession, as it was done by the sun god to his son Manu and from Manu to Maharaj Ikshvaku. There are 14 Manus in one day of Brahma, and the Manu referred to herein is the 7th Manu, who is one of the Prajapatis, those who create progeny, and he is the son of the sun god. He is known as the Vaivasvat Manu. He had 10 sons and Maharaj Ikshvaku is one of them. Maharaj Ikshvaku also learned Bhakti Yoga as taught in the Bhagavad Gita from his father Manu, who got it from his father, the sun god. Later on, the teaching of the Bhagavad Gita came down by disciplic succession from Maharaj Ikshvaku, but in course of time, the chain was broken by unscrupulous persons and therefore it again had to be taught to Arjun on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So all the Vedic literatures are current from the very beginning of creation of the material world, and thus the Vedic literatures are known as Apaurushaya, not made by man. The Vedic knowledge was spoken by the Lord and first heard by Brahma, the first created living being within the universe. Maharaj Ikshvaku, one of the sons of Vaivasvat Manu. He had 100 sons. He prohibited meat eating. His son Shashada became the next king after his death. Manu. The Manu mentioned in this verse as the father of Ikshvaku is the 7th Manu of the name Vaivasvat Manu, the son of sun god Vivaswan, to whom Lord Krishna instructed the teachings of Bhagavad Gita prior to his teaching them to Arjun. Mankind is the descendant of Manu. This Vaivasvat Manu had 10 sons named Ikshvaku, Nabhaga, Dhrushta, Sharayati, Narishanta, Nabhaga, Dishta, Karusha, Prushadra, and Vasuman. The Lord's incarnation Matsya, the gigantic fish, was advented during the beginning of Vaivasvat Manu's reign. He learned the principles of Bhagavad Gita from his father Vivaswan, the sun god, and he re-instructed the same to his son Maharaj Ikshvaku. In the beginning of the Treta Yuga, the sun god instructed devotional service to Manu, and Manu in his turn instructed it to Ikshvaku for the welfare of the whole human society. Lord Ram, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, incarnated himself as Sri Ram, accepting the sonhood of his pure devotee Maharaj Dashrath, the king of Ayodhya. Lord Ram descended along with his plenary portions, and all of them appeared as his younger brothers. In the month of Chaitra, on the 9th day of the growing moon in the Treta Yuga, the Lord appeared as usual to establish the principles of religion and to annihilate the disturbing elements. When he was just a young boy, he helped the great sage Vishwamitra by killing Subahu and striking Maricha, the she demon who was disturbing the sages in their daily discharge of duties. The Brahmanas and Kshatriyas are meant to cooperate for the welfare of the mass of people. The Brahmana sages endeavor to enlighten the people by perfect knowledge, and the Kshatriyas are meant for their protection. Lord Ram is the ideal king for maintaining and protecting the highest culture of humanity known as Brahmanya Dharma. The Lord is specifically the protector of the cows and the Brahmanas, and hence he enhances the prosperity of the world. He rewarded the administrative demigods by effective weapons to conquer the demons through the agency of Vishwamitra. He was present in the bow sacrifice of King Janak, and by breaking the invincible bow of Shiv, he married Sita Devi, daughter of King Janak. After his marriage, he accepted exile in the forest for 14 years by the order of his father Maharaj Dashrath. To help the administration of the demigods, he killed 14,000 demons, and by the interviews of the demons, his wife Sita Devi was kidnapped by Ravan. He made friendship with Sugriv, who was helped by the Lord to kill Bali, brother of Sugriv. By the help of Lord Ram, Sugriv became the king of the Vanaras, a race of gorillas. The Lord built a floating bridge of stones on the Indian Ocean and reached Lanka, the kingdom of Ravan, who had kidnapped Sita. Later on, Ravan was killed by him, and Ravan's brother Vibhishan was installed on the throne of Lanka. Vibhishan was one of the brothers of Ravan, a demon, but Lord Ram made him immortal by his blessings. On the expiry of 14 years, after settling the affairs of Lanka, the Lord came back to his kingdom Ayodhya by Flower Plain. He instructed his brother Shatrughna to attack Lavanasur, who reigned at Mathura, and the demon was killed. He performed 10 Ashwamedh sacrifices, and later on he thus appeared while taking a bath in the Sharayu river. The great epic Ramayana is the history of Lord Ram's activities in the world, and the authoritative Ramayana was written by the great poet Valmiki. Hare Krishna.